Hello there, and welcome to Thank the Maker, a podcast about heroes, princesses, scoundrels, hokey religions, ancient weapons, and all things Star Wars. I'm Adam Russell.
Hey, Adam. I'm Nick. What's happening?
Holy technical difficulties there, Watto.
That one was
Mike
on
Forster. Me. Well, you know what? It's just like Adam's in a hotel room. You're on tour. You're almost done with tour. You're fighting through it, man.
What
You're
I was just saying on Instagram Live is that technology forces you to become a boomer. Like that was just so boomery, you know?
It was. But on the positive, we're almost gonna have like the whole group back together. Ryan Key is out with a sickness. It's 2024. We still have these kind of sicknesses going on. It's just a disaster. But look at us. Here we are talking about Star Wars yet again.
We're doing it. We're doing it up. We're making it happen. We're making the best of complex and ongoing series of weird situations.
I love that. I love that for us. We're fighting through it. Finn is here. I hope you're all watching on YouTube Live. Finn is here.
Finn, say something.
Finn the dog.
Here we go. Let's see. Give the people what they want, Nick.
Still working on his English.
He got a haircut today. Actually, I got a haircut today, too. You just can't see it because I wanted to wear this Roosevelt's hat.
It looks nice.
You
look
great. So you got new Roosevelt stuff in the mail.
Ooh.
This new performance hoodie that looks like the Death Star, the surface of the Death Star. And they put out 3 dad hats. This one also comes in khaki, and then they have one with R2 on it. So dad hats are my thing, and I'm so happy that they make dad hats now.
You are a dog dad. You're eligible.
Look at this guy.
That's wonderful. So a couple things. We could get to the top of the hour, of course. Speaking of all things excitement, we are very, very close to selling the most amount of tickets we've ever sold at Mos Eisley. Can we talk about this for a second?
Any day now. Any day now.
Do it.
It will be officially the biggest Mos Eisley that we have ever thrown.
So if you are at MegaCon, we will be there hanging out. It will be super fun. I think we're probably going to be lurking a little bit around the Roosevelt's booth. That's to be certain. Is there anything that you guys are like looking? They posted the schedule today, which is pretty exciting. Have you guys had a chance to like look through it yet? There's a lot of people there.
I have not.
I have not looked. I'm very focused on Mos Eisley right now. I'm out there trying to sell tickets.
We appreciate you, Nick, every time. I feel like this one, based on I think for people who think about Mos Eisley, they think about what is the thing they get, right? And for us, it looks like we're up there having fun with everyone, and we're listening to music of our youths and doing it with lightsabers. These things are all true, absolutely. But what you don't see is a ton of hard work that like goes into all the coordination, doing all this stuff. I'm making all the merch. We're just making sure it goes to the printers, all this. It is like full on a coordinated effort that takes months and months of planning, months and months of work. So for us, the week before Mos Eisley is equally just as stressful, but it's also incredibly relieving because we're always blown away by how hard people show up for it. And the costumes we've seen already are amazing. Nick and I are planning something very special, which is really fun. Wasted Fett hooking us up with something very cool. And we have some amazing sponsors too that are kicking in to help us with this. Super excited to have.
Who are they, Mike?
Crafted Cores, who sponsored our first ever Mos Eisley in Anaheim, which is awesome. If you're in the Orlando area, and you've been to Galaxy's Edge and you make one of the Savvy's lightsabers, you can use their kyber crystals, and they have all different kinds to put into your blade, and you can change the sounds, change the colors. It's pretty amazing. So Crafted Course is going to be there with a bunch of new products. And then we also have our friends Emma at Gabbert Great. She's going to be there, and she does an amazing job too. She does a lot of like denizen, scoundrel, custom Star Wars stuff. Her stuff is amazing. So follow her on Gabber She's also her first ever sponsor of Mosh Isley this year. So all in all, it's like, it's going to be amazing. I'm very, very geeked about this and doing it together. And then we also get to hang and have a little mini park day on Sunday for some of us who can. It's the best. What are you most excited about? What does this one feel different, Nick? You weren't at the last one before New York. Well, no, I know, but you were in New York, but you weren't in our last biggest one.
I mean, I'm interested to see, the show we're putting on, which is great. And I just, with everything in life, I'm always looking for progress in the future. And I want this to be the best one. I know it'll be the biggest one, but I know how much preparation goes into it. So I'm looking forward to making sure everyone there has a good time, and including us. I want us to have a good time and not be like stressed out like we maybe have been a little bit in the past. But specifically, yeah, I'm interested. I'm excited to see the how the story plays out, the little story that we got going on.
Yeah, I'm only having a mild, continuous month-long panic attack about the whole thing, so should be sick.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, that's it
Ain't all fun and games. There's a lot of
proper
stress.
Mosh Isley for sure.
You know what? Also, I'm really interested to see, Mike. You did such a good job designing all the merch. We have one new merch design that is so good, and I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
I'm excited.
Things are coming
for you to see it as well.
Things are happening.
All right, let's talk about something really cool and unexpected that we got yesterday. Yeah, Monday at the time of this recording.
Thank goodness.
We're all talking about what's up with new Star Wars content in 2024 with the strikes. What happened? Where are we? Do we have to come up with, multiple months of topics as a podcast? Nope. Surprise, out of nowhere, Monday morning drops the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer. Not just the Season 3 trailer, but the series finale.
Ooh, baby.
Trailer.
Which is sad. Yeah. It's super sad. Like, considering how heavy we got invested in the Clone Wars, there were 7 seasons, some of them a little goofy in between there with the strikes and all that, and not sure where things were going to happen. But like, the fact that we're getting 3 seasons and it's done kind of makes me a little sad to know that like these stories are going to at least be buttoned up this way. But I'm hoping in true Star Wars fashion, we keep some ends open, please. I'm asking.
Well, here's what we know about the season compared to the others. We'll do a quick rundown of the rollout timeline, and then we'll get into what actually happened in the trailer and give our reactions and so on. So 3-episode premiere, February 21st. This is a 15-episode season. We had 16 the first 2, so just one fewer, but who knows what the run times are. It could be the same amount of time. Who knows? We'll find out. We have the episode titles already. We have the full schedule here. So like I said, February 21st, 3-episode premiere. Episode 1 is called Confined. Episode 2, Paths Unknown. And episode 3, Shadows of Tantus.
Ooh,
yeah. Nice. I'm going through this. I don't know if you're going to read all of them, but my first question reading these titles, do you think any of these are going to be like Adventure of the Week? None of them seem like they would be. I can't really, like, how would Infiltration and an Extraction be a Adventure of the Week? Like this seems like a lot of meat on the bones here, which is excellent.
Yeah. The only one I can think of might be episode 4, A Different Approach.
We'll see. Be in the title right there.
Yeah. The next week, episode 5, The Return, and then March 13th, 6 and 7, we're going to get, a double episode week. Infiltration and Extraction, like Nick said. Episode 8, Bad Territory, just a week later, and then we follow every week throughout. Episode 8, Bad Territory. Episode 9, The Harbinger. Interesting. April 13th, episode 10 and 11, Identity Crisis and Point of No Return. So heavy. So many implications. Episode 12 on April 10th, Juggernaut. Episode 13 on April 17th, Into the Breach. Episode 14 on April 24th, Flash Strike. And wrapping up before May the 4th, on May 1st, the series finale, episode 15, The Cavalry has arrived.
So even just going off this, and for a podcast that never speculates, we certainly are going to speculate. But I think there's something very peculiar about the fact that they're giving us a 3-episode premiere, right? Which I know that in summer, like they dropped all of Marvel's Echo at once. Sometimes some internet neckbeards will say that's a sign that they don't have confidence in it. They just want to get it out there, whatever. 3
They know what they're talking
episodes.
about.
3 episodes compared to 2 episodes of when season 2 came out, and season 1 did the same thing, I believe. They're almost intentionally making it so that it doesn't end on May the 4th.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I really feel like this is pacing to have hopefully another big thing, whether it's maybe it's even like Ahsoka behind the scene, Ahsoka gallery or something, come out on May the 4th.
Right.
Hopefully that's because this is the first time they've done 2 other mid-season double episodes, right?
Right.
There's two weeks where it's double episode. So
right. So
seems like on
it's
purpose.
odd. It's odd. You know what I mean? I think too, there is some speculation, of course, that we knew that we're getting Tales of the Jedi season 2. Could that drop on May the 4th? We're going to get into the trailer a little bit, but most importantly, we have to look at what May the 4th is, right? It is a very special day for Star Wars fans, and for a lot of people, but it's also, we have a lot of time until then. And we know that we're supposed to get in this year, the year of our Lord Qui-Gon Jinn, 2 episodes of live action something. I believe we're supposed to get behind the scenes of Ahsoka. Is Ahsoka going to show up in the Bad Batch? Like, we have all of these things can be true. It's just very particular. It's very odd to me that like they're giving us big chunks of episodes. And is the finale also going to be a Rebels style where it's like an hour long? I can't believe
It's gotta be. Yeah.
I can't believe that they would wrap this up and just go, well, there was your 24 minutes of fun. We'll never see you again.
Right.
So
I can't wait to do the Bad Batch bingo leading up to this.
Absolutely.
Speculation is going to get out of control. Maybe we'll keep it under control, but probably not, because we're just so hopeful with it ending. We'll speculate about this just a little bit at the very end. What's next? Because Filoni's always thinking years ahead. He says as much every time. Something about a plan is brought up. So we'll see. We do know that obviously by these dates it's dropping on Wednesdays. But are we going to do an evening release again, or is this midnight? Have either of you heard anything about that?
I haven't. No.
Interesting.
I'm longing for the nostalgia, even though this is only 5 years at this point or so. I'm longing for the sitting down on my couch at midnight. I miss
Nick,
that.
incredibly rude of you. West Coast guys getting all the love. That was really hard for us, man. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to watch this.
That sounds fun too, though. Wake up in the middle of the night and watch it. That sounds fun.
Yeah. There was something really awesome about that, and I do remember very fondly watching The Mandalorian at me at 4 a.m. Luke Skywalker is here. He's here.
Buzzing,
I'm
right?
crying.
Like, how am I gonna go to sleep right
This
now?
is
Oh my
nuts. God. That was great. But I think looking at it from a holistic standpoint of saying, what is this show? What is this final season's purpose, right? And I think in some ways, the Bad Batch has become we knew that it would become the extension of the Clone Wars. For the animation team and for storytelling to keep this era kind of open, right? Because Andor has been in the same era. Yes, we know that, but it's explored a different part of Star Wars that kind of begs to be in its own little bubble, right? In some ways, I could never see Sid in Andor. I could never see the Havoc Marauder showing up and just being this amazing ship, and then Hunter gets off and looks over at your name's Cassian Andor. I just can't see it. You know what I mean? But there's something about where animation has to go for Star Wars from here because it is such a dedicated fan base that I'm very curious. Tales of the Jedi are one-off little tales. They're little, mini stories. I have to believe that there has to be some overarching story that's being developed right now that continues the legacy of Star Wars animation. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I don't doubt that these characters, some number of these characters, will pop up in other things, and I would be surprised if Filoni didn't already have the next thing in mind. But I just don't I don't have any idea. I feel strongly that we're not going to kill them all off. That's all I can say.
Interesting.
You might lose a few, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a bingo card, like who's gonna die, or perhaps maybe one of them will. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. I could go either way with where animation is going, because canonically, I guess timeline wise, we would hit animation for the original trilogy, right? But it kind of makes a little bit more sense with more of an open playing field to go into like some sort of enriching the sequels animation, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I like that. I like that a lot. Well, I think
wouldn't
we
be
should
mad.
probably talk about this trailer because it dropped kind of out of nowhere. And I mean, Jennifer was kind of teasing it. She was like, "Oh, it sounds like you guys are really ready for a Bad Batch trailer." And everyone's like, "Yes, yes, give it to us." And she did. They did. They dropped it, and we collectively lost our Maloo runs over it. So
Yeah,
let's talk about it.
I immediately felt this sense of purpose that I haven't felt in a few months.
I love that. I love that for you, Nick.
I felt the force when I saw the trailer because it had dropped, I think, 3 minutes before I had opened my phone. I saw it on Instagram, and I was on the toilet. I watched the whole thing on the toilet. I cried tears of joy as poop was coming out of my butt.
Yeah, yeah, and that's how you know that this
Poop
is
of joy.
a real podcast.
Poop of joy.
Adam's not shy, you guys. Patrons,
No.
that was for you.
Everybody poops. Read the book. Okay, so the trailer opens with a chase sequence, not unlike the season 2 trailer, and it's not as extended as that trailer, but it is. It's a chase. It's very Indiana Jones style. Those, I forgot what the vehicle's called, but it's a wheeled vehicle. It's not a train, but it's got that train heist kind of vibe.
It's the
almost to it.
Juggernaut from Mandalorian. That's what it looked like.
Yes. There you go. Fee is there helping them on the mission. We see a shot of a ship approaching Coruscant. We see a flashback of Tech falling to his death.
Oh,
thanks for that. That hurt.
don't remind me.
We see one of the monasteries on the planet Teth from the Clone Wars 2008 feature film, where Asajj brought Jabba's little baby hut.
Right
there for that. That I forgot exactly what happens in the scene, but point being, we see that it almost looks like an updated render, same shot. Somebody did a side by side on Instagram. It was pretty tight.
So
we see the return of Rex.
Hopefully, shout out to Scott Zenteno over that.
Yeah.
Always doing good work.
We see the return of Rex with some voiceover from him. He wants to keep fighting. He references Omega being captive of the Empire for a long time. I don't know. I don't remember the exact line, but like she's been captive for too long or something like that. I forgot what it is.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Which is wild to wonder how long.
I've got to interrupt this for a second because, as always, Story of the Year's #1 fan, Mike Cronin, shows up with a super chat and says, "Waiting for Mosh has me feeling more humble than Dikembe Mutombo after a stumble left him covered in a big pot of gumbo." Right. So let's go ahead and add that in there. So I want you guys to feel like that. Okay. Dikembe Mutombo, pot of gumbo. Where are we at in the trailer at this point?
Hey, shout out to Cronin. He gave me the Pop Star soundtrack on vinyl, and it's
yes, that's
phenomenal.
amazing.
It's one of the fake album covers from Connor For Real's.
That's so
career.
good. What an
called
item.
Thriller also. We We then see Crosshair in an Imperial prison with Omega. It seems like they pass each other. Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
They're kind of walking down the corridor.
She recognizes him, but he doesn't even look up.
Yeah. We see Hemlock, the cloning scientist from Tantus, with a bunch of commandos behind
That guy
him.
gives me the creeps.
Hate him. Want to stab him.
Yep.
Palpatine with the Royal Guards and a ton of clone commandos. Maybe they're regular commandos at this point. Who knows who's in there? I mean, we still see a bunch of clones around as well, so it's hard to tell where all of this sits. But Palpatine has a really interesting quote. He says, "There is nothing of greater importance to secure the future of this empire. Whatever is needed to accomplish this goal, you will have it."
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So let's pause just for a second.
Who's he talking
What is he talking about?
Who's he talking to?
It's got to be himself, like cloning, right? Like he's wants me around forever, immortality.
Is he talking to Hemlock?
Oh, talking to?
Or is he talking to Nala Se?
Could be. Mm-hmm.
She was in the trailer.
Yep.
I mean, is he talking about cloning specifically? Is he talking about just, the mission to get Omega? Let's say she's broken out, and then they're giving him the news that she's broken out, and it's like, go get her, and it's just an implied implication? Or do you think he's on the nose saying this cloning shit is the most
imperative
important thing
to the final order?
Yeah, could be a little misdirection, right? But I mean, I want it to be him talking about cloning himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's something interesting too. We see that kind of it's a very obvious shot. They wanted us to see it. This kind of like unmarked trooper that kind of has like a badass, like they have like a new helmet and
The black one?
Yeah, but it's not like
CX1 is what the subtitle said.
okay, so CX1 is like your CT number is clone trooper, right? So CX is specialist, right? And I think
Or
please,
experimental.
Yeah, please help me out in the chat because
weren't sexy one.
True.
If you
did not
pronounce
consider
it,
that.
You didn't even consider he might be sexy one.
Right.
Yeah.
Sexy
right,
clones
right.
are coming. That's what you want to know where the future of animation is going. Sexy clones.
Sexy clones.
It's a soft
Everyone's
C.
Hauser. Everyone is Hauser.
Yeah.
Nick breaks the code.
But I think it's
He
like
takes off the helmet and just the hair just comes out and like doves fly behind it.
Dun, 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 dun. So I think if we had I see that character and I'm like immediately, are they resurrecting? Did they find tech? Did they get the sample from him that Omega has all this, Omega has all their abilities in her? Did they get some of the source code from tech? Like all of it is in play, especially when we're talking about Palpatine's plan. Hemlock is obvious, we have all of the pieces for cloning. The worst people are all in play here, and they're all like, swirling around here. So I feel like there's something about that trooper, whoever that is, that we gotta like.
It's exciting.
Just give us
really
the show,
exciting.
and we have to talk about the other character that kind of threw us for a loop. Because did you also
Hold on.
hang on?
We're getting
Pump
there.
the brakes.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Did anyone else
And that's
see?
our show, I guess. We'll see you next week.
Did anyone else see the 187th? Did it look like there was a 187 Mace Windu's purple like trooper?
Oh.
No.
I did not notice that.
Okay. All right. I could have been seeing things, but I watched that and I went, huh, that's an odd shade, but it could have been wrong. So.
Oh, here's something I missed from the top of the notes here. One of the first shots is Hunter. It's definitely current because you see the blue on his shoulder pauldron.
Right.
There's, at bare minimum, someone wearing Crosshair's armor behind him.
Season 1 armor.
Yes, the original Bad Batch armor.
What does that mean? Is it Gregor? Is it Wolf undercover? Like, what is it? Who is it?
And if it is Crosshair, how does he get there?
Yeah. Speaking of Wolf, we see Wolf of mostly Rebels fame, right? Biggest, most important, I would say, right? You know what I mean? That's the time. His time as a clone that matters most to most people, I would say, right?
Right.
But at this point, he's still with the Empire, or it looks like it. He's with a commando, a few clones, and a TK.
Ooh, I like this. So Tyler Bourbon and Buckets, Tyler Fountain, we'll see you at Mosh, buddy. Give you a wink right there. CX is the Bad Batch prefix, which makes sense because they're experimental. Yep, Clone Force 99, cool. So the fact that it said CX1 is a did they have? I mean, they're all C.
Pretty sure they all had numbers, right?
But they're all 99, I thought, right?
Okay, here we go.
I vaguely remember them being numbered.
Okay. So if they have those numbers, there's something about CX1 that maybe it's like it's like Xbox, right? After you've leveled up, you just go back to 1, right? So maybe this is the new CX. I have no idea. Then Kevin Doom, because I think Kevin Doom is in here. He asked, was that Commander Cody's voice?
Technically, yes.
Technically, absolutely. Technically, that was Hunter's voice. That was that was also
Yeah, so Zach is saying in Discord the numbers are all 9901. So it's not CX, like 9901, 901, 902.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
All right.
interesting.
Well, to be determined, to be seen. A few more appearances. Mike, you said Nala Say, Fennec Shand, Cad Bane.
Oh yeah, love it.
It's Cad Bane.
Big one. We see a shot of Hunter on Pabu.
Yep.
Looks like he's just chilling, but then there's also a shot, like a big wide shot of an Imperial invasion of what looks like Pabu.
That's gonna suck. We love
It's not
Pabu.
going to be great.
We love that.
There's a shot of Omega piloting a shuttle. There's a quote, great quote. It's the it's a spin on or is it the same quote? Since when do we follow orders? Right?
Yep.
Yeah, which was
Rex or Hunter says it. That was
yes, but also wasn't that one of Tech's last lines?
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, right. If not his last line.
Yeah. And then the big one, the big character reveal, the goosebump moment. Asajj Ventress.
Ooh.
Presumed dead. Asajj Ventress.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
somehow.
Until this point.
Okay.
Somehow Asajj returned. So here's the thing. Hair. She's got a little swoop. She has a yellow lightsaber, reminiscent of from the Unmade Clone Wars episode, right? As well as the Dark Disciple novel that Mike's holding up right there, in which she dies. Everyone's freaking out about it, but Brad Rao, supervising director, one of the executive producers of the series, said on StarWars.com, quote, "We don't want to spoil anything, but we do want to let fans know that any new storytelling with Ventress will align with the events of Star Wars Dark Disciple." So,
what does the word align mean? Like, could it be, Finn, you can't be on my lap and make noises, bro. I'm podcasting live on the internet. This is big time.
bad mic etiquette, Finn.
What could align meaning nothing in that book changes, or like as if that might be a flashback that somehow the Bad Batch is involved in? Is that a line, or does a line mean all of that happened and she's still alive? Because there's two ways, I guess, you could bring her back from the dead, sort of. And I've only heard people talk about one so far.
Okay. So hear me out. At 134 of the trailer, YouTube, Discord, tell me that trooper that shows up there and pulls that blaster off his back. Tell me that's not Mace Windu's. That's not Mace Windu's crew.
Yeah.
Bring it
Let's
up.
hear it. Let's hear it from Discord.
Come on.
I would say
134.
a line, while they're figuring that out, I would say a line just means that they're not going to break canon. that they're going to assume
Yeah.
work as if what's on the
that's-
page is canon, and even if they bring her back from the dead somehow with some magics, what happened
People
happened.
are talking about that because she's a Night Sister, but we're also in a show of clones and cloning. Like, why couldn't that be a clone?
Oh, interesting.
I haven't seen anyone mention that.
Oh yeah.
Well, wait, say that again, Nick.
Why couldn't that be a clone of Asajj?
Well, I mean, here's the other thing. Look at her outfit.
It does look a lot like.
Well, take a look at those those cool little shoulder logos.
Let me see this. Where do we see this?
I'm pretty sure she's got she's got the clone program marking on her shoulder.
Oh, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see it. Where do I see this?
Have you
Somebody
ever
send
watched
it.
the trailer? Unbelievable.
Have you seen Star Wars?
Right. Man. Oh, look at that.
Mike,
It
share the
looks
screen.
like
What do you got
looks
here?
like
You want to do it?
you're at, let's see, we're at 140, we're at 149. $149.
Let me get this. Let me make this happen.
We gotta look at
there
that.
you go. Star Wars theory. Get out of here. 149. Finding it, doing it. Slow it down. Get this playback speed. Something reasonable.
I mean, it's very sweet. So I don't know. I'm interested in this. Oh, sorry. It was Krista D. Oh, Krista D was watching the Krista D was the one who gave a shout out about Commander Cody's voice, which I love that. So yeah, I think all of this, everything is in play. I think being how Asajj dies in Dark Disciple, I'm not going to give it away because it's a fantastic book. You should absolutely read it. I think we have already seen Quinlan Vos in animation. I think it makes sense that we could bring him back. I think that even if they were to do almost like a retelling or an animated version of parts of Dark Disciple in the story so that people can see what happened if they don't want to read the book, I'm game for that too. It's an amazing book. So I think that's awesome. And of course everyone immediately is like, oh, they love to destroy canon. It's very clearly at this point that Star Wars also does love its authors and who write amazing stories. But I do think I'm one of those people who's like, Asajj Ventress is such a great character. To have her killed off in a book is tough. It's tough for me. I won't lie, especially when the bread and butter of Star Wars is visual media. That's why everything about it's awesome. The writing is fantastic. It's a great book. You should read it. But I think for people to feel the weight of her character, that's what I'm going to say.
I haven't eaten dinner yet, and you just said bread and butter, and I was like, oh, bread and butter.
Yeah, bread and butter.
Yeah, maybe.
Bread and butter.
Yeah.
There we go.
Interesting. That's that. Do you think that's the clone?
Somebody else has another shot of it that's enhanced. It's probably from a slightly different moment. It's the thumbnail actually of Screen Rant, I want to say, has a really nice shot on YouTube.
So what is that? I thought that's the clone marking.
You're talking about like the IL looking things? That doesn't look like that to me.
Go check the Screen Rant YouTube channel thumbnail. Right? That's it. All right, Screen Rant. Yeah.
Man, this is great. We're doing this live. People are figuring this out.
We're doing it live.
Screen Rant also said Asajj Ventress' death officially retcon. So I mean, let's not give Screen Rant too many clicks here.
I mean, I
not
didn't
the
watch the
best.
thing, but I did see the still,
Interesting.
which looked cool.
Interesting. It's a
That dude
snake.
does a lot of speculating, but
Yeah, it's a snake on her pauldron. I think she has an Ahsoka's trial arc.
oh, it's in the new Rockstar's thumbnail. Actually,
And
it is a snake for sure. It's
okay,
like dangling, going around in a spiral.
okay. So what is that? What
So
is
that's
that? Where
not
is that
cloning.
snake from? It's not cloning. Okay, I take it back. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I'll leave the podcast forever. Is a snake? Is it
Cobra Kai.
nice?
It's a
Say it,
crossover.
Mike. Say it, Mike. Is it Morley?
Yeah, okay. So it's they're right. So someone said that they had in the episode where Asajj and Ahsoka kind of have their episodes together, it's her same logo on there. Yeah, it's the same pauldron as that. So that's a nice little cut right there. I like that. Okay, so it's the same pauldron. So yeah, so this is during her. That's interesting though. They went back to this bounty hunter outfit. Okay. I mean, hey, it's all in play. It's all in play.
So when is this bounty hunter outfit from that you're talking about?
What are you talking about?
You're saying they went back to this bounty hunter outfit? When did this happen?
Well, if you remember in the Ahsoka and Ventress, when Ahsoka and Ventress have to work together in the Clone Wars,
that's right. Yeah. And
that's what I'm
7.
looking at a picture of that where she's got her bounty hunter mask that she wears. It's the same pauldron, and yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think bringing her back is very cool.
So this. Wait a minute. When does the book happen? When does Dark Disciple happen? Timeline wise.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, because it's leftover Clone Wars unfinished story arcs.
Right.
Dark Disciple.
Trying to think of where they put it. Let me see if it has.
So this could be just like some Ahsoka stuff was.
Dark Disciple is after Attack of the Clones, and it's before Revenge of the Sith.
Huh. So when the hell does season 7 take place in that relative to that when she's working with Ahsoka?
That was where Ahsoka gets framed and she has to work in the
that
world.
Was 5.
Right.
Sorry, not 7.
Right.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think it's Morley, Darth Maul's friend? That's a snake.
What the hell is Morley?
You don't remember Morley?
Oh, down in the
down in the pit,
scrap heap.
Yeah.
So
when he was living that
from
Andy Dwyer life
from the Clone Wars, actual art episode, it says, "I love when they do this." So it looks like Chris Glenn was the artist for it. This is 11/29/10 when this was published here. Ventress Bounty Hunter, episode 412. Ventress Bounty Hunter has the pauldron with the snake on. It's the black twisted snake. So they brought that through. That's pretty. That's pretty rad. I'm liking this here.
What does it mean?
But she didn't have hair in any of that. She was still bald through all of that. So is she just she just opened up the Rubbermaid tub underneath her staircase with all of her other trinkets from her youth and said, "I'm gonna wear this again"?
My gosh. Yeah, I mean that's basically. Let's see here.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Let's not go too far down the rabbit hole. I need to edit this thing tonight.
Sure.
I was trying to give Finn some Asajj hair.
Okay.
It's a visual medium,
We could talk about what we think is next, but I think we're all stumped. We'll think about that maybe when we do our bingo episode. We'll get into that, and of course at the end of after the finale, we'll definitely have that topic on our mind.
We'll see who won.
We will do it. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening and watching. Like we said earlier, Mos Eisley is a mere week and a half away.
Yep.
Yep. MoshIsley.com is where you go to get tickets for that. It is the Saturday of MegaCon in Orlando. It's at a place called Sun on the Beach in Kissimmee, right down the road. It's going to be a good time. We're planning some really fun stuff. Stoked on it. I don't know what else to say other than my butt hurts, and I'm glad to get out of this chair in just a moment.
Pay attention to
Lovely.
Bayside social media. Stuff's happening. Stuff's
And
happening.
go see Story of the Year in Chicago on Friday.
Do it if you want. If you don't, that's fine too.
Right.
Until then, until next time, may the force be with you.